now.
Okay. All right, you guys. Round table today, we are going to be talking about sharing the Young Living opportunity or the business opportunity with Young Living. And what we really wanted to impress upon you while you're watching this is that sharing this opportunity for someone to join in and do the business is just as important as sharing about the product, because you could sign up 1,000 people as customers and not have a great business. What's going to make your business good and thriving and growing is getting people to do it with you and to share this business experience. And the only way to do that is to tell people about it, because if they don't know, then they can't say yes. And so today we're just going to be talking about how important it is to share the business and ways to do that. And maybe tell a little bit of our own stories and how we got started as well. So I'll just go ahead and start and share that. So when I started using Young Living, I fell in love instantly with the products because I had some pretty amazing things happen in our health and with my kids sleeping, major things happening. And I just started telling people. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, this is amazing. Everyone needs, like, you need this. This is so cool. And then people were like, so how do I get it? And I was like, I have no idea. And Christy was like, girl, let me help you. And so I remember very specifically, she called me on the phone, which I never answer my phone. And I answered the phone for you, Christy, because you're special.
And I never make calls. So it was an act of love.
It was a big moment for me, but we got on the phone together and she explained that it was actually a business, like that I could help people get it. And I was like, really? I think I'm going to do this.
I think that might have been right around the time you came to my house.
Yeah, right before.
You sat on my couch. I will never forget that. I'll tell mine in a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, it was right before I came to your house because we came around Christmas time. And this was right after Thanksgiving. So yeah, I was like, I want to do this. I think that this could be fun. I did not necessarily need the income, but I did want to freely buy whatever the heck I wanted from Young Living, because at that point I was totally in love. And so it would be nice to have, $100 a month to put towards product. You guys, income disclosure statement, I'm making a lot more than $100 a month now. But that's what it started with. I just wanted to be able to get my product, and I loved it. And I just started sharing. And Christy was kind enough to actually tell me that it was a business and to walk me through getting started. And I was all in from the start. And that is actually kind of different than a lot of people. Not everyone has the experience of all in at the very beginning, but that was my experience. So you're going to find those people occasionally.
Well, absolutely. Yes, it is a rare breed who is all in and stays all in. Girl, we're on year 8. Are we on year 8?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That and to back up just a step from Jamie's story, I'm the one who enrolled her. So what was my story to get to her? I had my sister-in-law. You guys, this is the key, right? Like, this is called network marketing for a reason. We tell our people, right? So when we're talking about sharing, you're going to share with everybody. Don't get me wrong, but you're going to have a really unique window into the people's lives who are closest to you, right? And so my sister-in-law had told me for a long time that I could build the business. I wasn't interested. I was just kind of at my max with other things going on in life. And then we had a very life-altering change in our lifestyle. And Matt was going to be transitioning out of his job, which was our full-time income. We were making a huge shift in life, and I had already used the product and loved the product. And I had been sharing, because I loved the product. I was taking thieves to our homeschool groups, right? I was getting thieves on all those hands, especially all winter long. And so I had already some people asking me about the product and what to do. And so I thought, you know what, maybe Annie's right. Maybe I can just try this, right? And so I did. Now, I actually, I was one of those for Annie, my sister-in-law, and she would normally be here with us. She has some other things going on today. But she never gave up on me, right? So she knew I loved the product, but she also, I can't even tell you the number of times she told me I'd be so good at the business. You guys, for someone to believe in you that much and to continue to say you'd be so good at this, it's like, it's a loving thing to do that for somebody and to believe in them that much. And so I actually went inactive at one point. And then when I decided, okay, I'm doing it, I'm all in, like Jamie said, then I jumped on ER for the first time. You guys, the time that I decided to build the business was the first time I jumped on Essential Rewards, or what we now call Loyalty Rewards. I just combined it all. I was like, okay, if I'm going to be on Loyalty Rewards and place an order every month, that felt really big to me, to place an order every month. Then I am going to also enroll people so that I can keep that, that system going, and earning some income, placing my orders, and continuing to build my team. And so then I started to share with the people close to me, and Jamie was in my circle. We're college friends. And I had a keen eye, because once you know the power of the compensation plan, which is you need brand partners, like Jamie said, you cannot build this business on customers. Then I had a very keen eye for who was loving the product and who was just starting to share naturally. And Jamie was doing that. And I thought, oh, thank you, Lord. And so that's part of it, you guys, is watch for the people's responses to the oils. When you share them and they start to use them, watch their responses, because if they have experiences with the oils and they start to light up about what is happening in their life with their health, that is an indication that might be a great person to start to share naturally, and then to fill them in on the opportunity.
I love that. You just like look for clues.
Yeah.
Like watch people.
Yes.
For clues, because they'll tell you when they're ready to know more about something. And then you're never like fire hosing them with information that they're not ready for. Okay. So I'll tell my story really fast. So Jamie is my sister-in-law. And shortly, like around the time that she was saying, she realized, oh, there's like actually a business side to this thing and I can help people get oils. She came to my house to visit, just like, she's my my husband's, she's my husband's big sister, not my brother. So she came to visit, and she warned me on the phone. This was funny. She warned me before she came, and she was like, I'm going to be bringing my new oils. And you guys, this was 8-ish, maybe close to 9. I don't know. It was a long time ago. It was before oils were cool. Like it was right when they were becoming a thing. I had no idea what she was talking about. And guys, I have like thin hair that gets greasy really easy. And I was like, if you're going to be, she was like, I'm bringing my diffuser. I can't sleep without it. You put your oils in it and puts it into the air. And I was like, ew, okay. I didn't say that to her, but I'm like, okay, ew. And I remember going to work that night. I was a night nurse, postpartum. And I told my nurse friends, I was like, my sister-in-law is coming and I am excited because I love her. I was like, but she is bringing something that puts oil into the air, you guys. And ew, like, isn't that bad for that's going to be bad for oily skin, my hair. I had no idea what I was talking about. So I got home that night.
I've never heard that part before.
I remember going to work. It was the night she came at night and I was at work. So I get home the next morning, 8 a.m., walking in the door, ready to go to bed. And my house smelled like lavender heaven. And I walked in there and I was like, what the H is this? This is amazing. Because you guys, I love smells. I have like my nose is an entire being. Ira always makes fun of me. Like, so I walk in and I'm like, this smells so great. So I was like, what is that? And she was like, that's my oils. Hi. So we hug, I go to bed. I'm like, hello, welcome to my home. I'm going to bed so I can actually be a human. And then I woke up, and you guys, I woke up with vertigo, like real bad vertigo. And I'd been dealing with it for a few weeks and I had never had it in my life before, but I had terrible vertigo. I am blaming night shift on it. I felt terrible working as a night nurse. So I was in a really desperate place, right? At this point, I'm in a very desperate place. She comes to my house, has these oils. We sit on the couch and she's like, I was like, I love this oil thing. Like, these are wonderful. So she like opens her little book and shows me like all it was the little pocket reference guide. She's like, I don't know, this book has everything in it. This is all I know. And so we go through all the oils. I'm smelling it. I think I had a headache at the time because night nurse, I mean, I was like literally not fine. You guys, I was smelling all the oils because I love the smells. And I smelled Pan Away. And at this point, I have no idea what it is. I was like, what is that? What was that? Because it took my headache away instantly while I'm sitting on the couch. I just smelled it. That's all it did. And she was like, that one's called, Pan Away. I think it's supposed to be like, she was so new. So we
No
looked it
clue.
up and it's like headaches and it like says all the things. I'm like, you go, I was like, Jamie, that just took away my headache. So we're having like this moment on the couch. Then I couldn't get out of bed with my vertigo later on in the trip. And she gives me frankincense. She's like, my book says to put frankincense, to smell it and to put it on the roof of your mouth. So I did. And in 5 minutes, vertigo was gone and I've never had it again.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are my experiences. One, they smelled good. Two, they did some amazing things for my body. And I was like, give me the oils. So I got the oils.
Well, so then I'm like, well, she loves these. She should do the business too.
So I remember the moment she's sitting next to me on the couch and I'm on my laptop, like I am treating myself. I'm making my own money now because I'm a nurse. You know, I was like, I am buying this. I don't care what my husband says. This is my money and whatever. So I buy the kit. And then she says, this is exactly what she says. You know, there's like a business side of this. And I think I'm going to do it because it sounds really fun. And as soon as she said that, like slapped me in the face. And I was like, ew, this is one of those. She's like, yeah, you can help people like get oils and you can make a paycheck. And I was like, oh my, I did not know I was signing up for one of those, but you know, I love these oils. So I literally said, well, good luck. I have way too much going on. I have no time for that, but I hope you have fun. And I had a little bit of like a nasty attitude about it, you know, because I had a bad taste in my mouth about network marketing. A lot of us have had that before because we have weird experiences. Some Mary Kay lady really, really wanted me to help her sell her makeup one time, and it was terrible. I didn't do it because of her attitude. So I had these misconceptions. I told her in no uncertain terms, like, good luck, I just want to buy the oils. Well, that was in December. 2 months later, I think I was like telling people about how much I loved the oils because they literally were doing all the things in my life. I was obsessed. I got on ER right away because she told me to. And I was like, okay, I'll just do whatever you say. Because, you know, you trust those people in your life. So I just did what she told me to. And it's all history after that. Like I started talking about what I loved and couldn't shut up about it. And people just started joining me and I had an accidental business. So at that point you
were a night nurse still. And so every morning I would wake up to all of these people signed up. You were just signing everyone up.
I was nocturnal.
In the middle of the night.
I was nocturnal. Here's what I have shared with other people since, but at that 2 months before she came to a month before she came to my house, it's like October or something. Ira and I went on a little weekend getaway and I had a come to Jesus moment. He was snoring in the other room in our little condo. And I'm up in the mountains in California. And I was like, Lord, I hate the way I'm living right now. I hate my job. I mean, I loved the job. I hated the hours. I hate how I feel. This is not life abundant. And this is not what you have for me. I just knew it. And I was like, God, change it. Like I was like so adamant, almost to where demanding. And I was like a little bit afraid after I did it. I was like, okay, the lightning is going to strike because I was just so disrespectful, you know, like not disrespectful, but just like, God, you are changing this. I am not doing this anymore. A month later, she comes to my house, introduces oils. I'm rejecting the business. 2 months after that, I'm realizing I can make a paycheck, signing people up like crazy. Like it was crazy. And 6 months later, I'm like taking my hours down part-time. A year after that, I'm making more than I made as a night nurse, retiring from nursing, you know, like it just, you guys, you never know where people are in their life, right? I mean, like we just never know what somebody just prayed 2 months before and what kind of an absolute godsend this thing could be. So keep your mind open. You don't know what people are going through. And Jamie, this is a perfect time to talk about the every 6 months thing because I love that idea.
Well, they say people's lives change every 6 months. And so, you know, now that I've been doing it 8 years, there's people who said no to me. And I just keep inviting and keep talking about my business. That's one way to share the business is talk about your own business. And when they've I've already invited them to do it. And so if their life changes, sometimes they come to you. You don't even have to go to them again. But I've also had people say no, 6 months later, no, a year later, no, 3 years later, no. And then all of a sudden they're like, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. And then they kill it because it's their time and they're ready. And so just keeping in mind the long game too is like, invite people and be respectful of their no. If they say no, don't get weird on them. Just be like, okay. And then just keep doing your thing and circle back.
Yeah.
Down, you know, in once time has gone by, because you never know, their life, their circumstances, their prayers may have changed between now and then.
And if we are opening the door every so often, right, like it gives them another entry point. And I think that this is a good transition to like how to share, what ways to share, how the frequency, you know, because there's some really technical, we talked about relationship just now, and that is the foundation, right, of working with your brand partners. But there's some very kind of technical, you know, to-dos to keep in mind when sharing. And I have not always been consistent about them. I will be completely honest and vulnerable. I love sharing the product. I have always had a harder time sharing the business. It's been easier for me to do that in little side conversations, but to share it openly, right, on social media or even in a class, that's something I've had to really be intentional about and think about my style of sharing that so that it fits for me, right? But Jamie, what are some ways you would say would be kind of these entry points where we're tossing it out there, right? So that people know. And when people circle back, there's always kind of this welcome in. You can do this when you want to.
Well, I think for sure when someone says yes to being a customer, it needs to be part of the conversation while they're signing up or right after they sign up. I always let them know about several things. I let them know how to reorder. I let them know about the Subscribe to Save program. I let them know that if they love this is how I lead into it. I say, and if you love your products and all of a sudden you find yourself telling people about them, then you have a referral link. And if you decide you want to do this as a business, you can also buy the Business Essentials Kit for $30 and you can start earning an income. I don't tell them you should do this or like pressure them weirdly. I just make sure they know about it, particularly because at that point in time, they've already said yes to this product. They're listening to you. They're interested. They would just want to know everything at that point. They may put it on the back burner. They may say, well, majority of the people, almost every single one of my business people that I work closely with, all of them told me no at that point. Like expect them to say, oh, well, I'm not going to do that. Just expect that, because that's everyone's initial reaction is no.
Yeah, we resist change.
But they know, but then they know about it at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And so if you're like, well, everyone says no, I'm not going to tell people about it because I feel weird. Well, don't. Just tell them about it and expect that they're going to say, yeah, I'm probably not going to do that, but that's great to know. So that's definitely a time to tell people about it. It's just at that initial sign up time, right? So as far as on social media goes, I think we talked, if you've watched one of our other roundtables about your top 5 products, right? Like you're rotating through these products regularly, you're sharing. I think include business as make it your top 6 and regularly rotate through talking about it. And how you talk about it might look different, right? Like maybe you do a slide series about the business with real technical information once in a while. Maybe you just get on there and talk about it's payday. I'm amazed that I'm able to do this. Always include the income disclosure statement, big, bold, obvious, link, the whole shebang.
Isn't that just at like youngliving.com/IDS still?
It's very easy. Yeah.
Young Living. And like you can get a cute graphic of like the monthly income for each drink if you want to, and circle the one that you're at and be like, I'm here. Or if you don't want to, you don't have to. Or like, I know people at this rank, like I've seen people share this all different ways. They make it really cute. And then always a link to the income disclosure.
And you know what? People are curious about that.
Yeah,
They're
people, they
passionate.
might not respond to that. Like they're not going to maybe message you like, wow, this is amazing. But
Yeah.
those numbers do not lie, and those numbers don't leave your head. When you look at that and you're like, that's the opportunity. This is not like, I mean, for some of us, it's like, yeah, I can buy, organic groceries, coffee, and fill my gas tank, which is a fortune and a half right now. But for some of us, it's like, like absolutely changed our lives, and people are going to look at those big numbers and mind blown.
That was actually one of the really encouraging things to me, you guys, is looking at those who had gone before me and those who, my uplines, right? Those on my team above me, seeing them and witnessing their success. And then for them to have those private conversations with me about life-changing income, that was incredibly motivating and kept me going in those early days when I thought it, because here's the real deal, you guys, you're working this business and it is an investment business. You do not get paid time for hours. Okay. And so you invest, you share, you invest, and over time, the incredible, how it comes back to you, right? Is this balloon effect of the compensation plan and how it works, but it doesn't start immediately. So having the motivation is really important, whether you see it on the income disclosure statement and you just remind yourself, or you have those people around you who are saying, listen, just keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of different creative ways that you can share about the business, just so people know, whether it's you talking about the business and how you're living your life, and you show yourself working, right? That's a simple way as well. To doing full on like dream calls where people can come and listen to you talk about the business, to running trainings that you invite your current team to. Like you could do like, hey, how to rank to star, let's get together and talk about the basics of what it would mean to do this business, and let's work together. Inviting people to something that that you're doing or talking about. There's just so many ways that you can do it, but I think the biggest thing is getting mentally past the point where you're like maybe embarrassed to talk about it, or you're worried what people will think. Whether you're like deciding for people, like, no, they probably wouldn't want to do it anyway, so I'm not going to tell them. Like, never do that, and don't decide for other people. Let them make the decision. So if you can kind of get over the hurdle in your mind that, like, I think the hurdle is, if you never talk about it, it's a hurdle. But as soon as you start talking about it, you're going to get more comfortable with it. And you're going to start seeing how people respond. You're going to get a lot of no's, but usually they're nice no's. It's pretty rare I've never had someone be mean or rude to me.
Ashley's attitude is probably.
I mean, I don't know if you could feel that, Jamie. Could you feel my attitude?
Well, just normal, like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, but it wasn't like mean. It was just
no.
I've never had anyone be mean about it. I've had a lot of people say no, but I've also had a lot of people come back and say yes.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
I think just if you can just get past like worrying, like take the no and put it in the no for now category.
Yes, that's
just
perfect.
Being your normal self with people.
You respect their no. You're not like, oh, that doesn't really mean no.
Yeah.
You're still respecting that no means no, but it only means no for now. And so keep your heart open to them and your mind open to them.
Kristen Boss, who is a network marketing pro, right? She is coach. I love how she puts it. She says their response to you when you share the opportunity, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with where they're at. And you don't know, placing that opportunity in their hands may be the exact thing that they needed to actually make a change. Yeah. I mean, case in point, it was Ashley who was like, God, do it. Like, this has to change, right? And if Jamie had never presented the opportunity, it would not have been able to come to fruition. Mm-hmm. So it's always about them, and you just placing that opportunity in their hands is a gift to say, this is a piece of change that you can have. And it's all about timing. So
it is. And I was going to say, like, if you never share it, you guys, like if you never share it even publicly, like I am talking about putting it out there on your socials, right? If you never do that, you're never giving anybody something to join. Like they have to know there's something to join. They have to know that there's a group of people doing something that they could like come into. And if you never share that, you cannot expect them to be like, knock, knock, this business is really attractive to me. I want to do this. Like you want to give them a culture to join, a team to join, even if the team and the culture is just you, right? Like these can start small, right? So you have to put it out there or they're just never, it's never going to cross their mind. Or they're going to be like that Young Living business thing, that's for other people.
Well,
But
and
if
the
they see
other
a friend
benefit
doing it,
too to sharing the business regularly is that then people know you do the business.
Yes.
And if they know you do the business, they're going to send you referrals. I got a text last night from someone who signed up a long time ago and she's gone inactive, but she sends me referrals all the time,
so good.
Wow.
which is so crazy. But she like, they know I do this as a business. They're not like, oh, I have a friend who talked about oils once. Let me give you her number. Would you ever send someone to
No.
someone who you don't trust?
Right.
People, because I'm doing the business, I talk about the business, I invite people into the business, people trust me to take care of people for them. So I get referrals because I do the business. People, when they're ready to join Young Living, they're like, I'm going to go to her because I know she's serious about this and she'll actually take care of me.
That is so, that's another point. Cause like, if I were, listen, let's say, if I were to join, if I were looking to join some kind of because network marketing is an incredible business opportunity and people are starting to realize that even more and more. So what if there's somebody that's like shopping around for like, I need to join something, like I need another stream of income or whatever. You like be as excellent as you can be at sharing your products and sharing your business because you want to be the person that person gravitates toward. Somebody's not going to join if they're looking for a business, they're not going to join some haphazard, crazy looking thing that you like shared, one time 3 months ago. You have to have that out there so that you're taken seriously, so that people who are going to take this seriously look to you because you attract what you put out there, right? So just an encouragement, if you're like, no, I really want to hit this hard, talk about your business at least. I would say at least once a week.
Yeah, weekly for sure.
And you guys, I'm talking to myself too, because I don't share this nearly enough. Like I need to be way better.
I've definitely gotten out of the habit. And so that's why I think this topic for a roundtable got me fired up because I'm like, I'm ready to get back to doing this because I love it. And it is life-changing. And every single person who's ended up saying yes to me, like I feel immense gratitude that I was able to be a part of their story. And I want to keep doing that.
Yes.
I want to keep being a part of people's story in such a positive way.
Yes, it's an incredible experience. In closing, when we say share, the how, okay? So you don't have to know all there is to know about the compensation plan. You guys, I'm still even learning about the compensation plan at my rank, okay? But definitely know the basics of where you're at, right? So that's one tip. So when you share, when people are coming to you and they want to know a little bit, well, you have to share a little bit so that they can grasp onto something, right? Secondly, your story. Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? People enter this and do this for all different sorts of reasons. What's your story? Why are you doing it? Any other tips, girls, about what you should include?
Well, those thoughts are really good. I forgot something in the, probably when I was like executive silver rank. I'm not saying this is when you should start doing it. You could do it right now. If you're like barely a star, haven't made star yet, or you're senior star, whatever, do it as soon as you can. If this resonates with you, I would have I didn't want to have people into my house because I was like, I cannot handle getting my house ready for people right now. So I would go to Starbucks or whatever little coffee shop and be like, anybody wants to come to a little business meeting? There's going to be beginners information. And then we'll have like, a talk afterward. You can ask me questions. And I would bring my scanner. So like my iTovi, or at that time it was a Zyto. And I would bring that would like attract some people. And we would literally sit down. I would have the smallest little program. I would print out like this thing that was like, I don't know, like a super easy. I don't even know where they are. I'm sure they're somewhere in my business stuff, but it was not professional, you guys, but I just would share the income information. I would share the basics of how to get paid. And then people would just ask questions. It would open up amazing conversation. I would bring a bunch of my oils in my little oil bag, and we would just sit around. And some of my most sticky, great business girls have come from those meetings. And I haven't done one of those in years. And partly we know why, because of the world, but like, also I just got away from doing that. And that was really cool. We are right at 30 minutes though. So anybody
Yeah.
else?
One more final thought. This is such a meaty topic.
Yeah.
My final thought. So back in the day, anybody could just share their link and then get paid. Well, now you have to declare that you're a business person to get a paycheck, right? But customers can still sign people up. And so no matter what, make sure that your customers know that they can share their referral link. And if they share their referral link, that opens up an opportunity for you to talk to them about if they want to flip from a customer to a business account,
Brand
brand partner account.
Yep.
And so that's just another aspect of this now is like, you might be like, well, they don't want to do the business. Well, still help them share.
Yeah.
Because everyone can share, even if it's with 1 or 2 people. They say that like if someone signs up in Young Living and never shares, there's like a 20 to 30% retention level. But if they sign up even 1 person, it goes up to like 90% that they're never going to leave the company. And so no matter what, even if someone says, no, I don't want to do the business, okay, that's fine. But did you know you can still give your referral link and help someone join, like your mom or your sister-in-law, and then they can be a part of our oily tribe and I'll help take care of them.
Yep.
But just make sure that people know that they can share regardless of their customer or brand partner status. So I think that's the last thing I wanted to add in. I think this is a great topic. And if you do want to talk more about this and how it would look like for you, people watching this roundtable, like come talk to us and we'll help you strategize and come up with a plan and maybe talk you through any like little hangups that you might have about it. So.
So good. All right. Thank you, girls.
Hey, ladies.
Have a good